Okay, so I'm here with Ellie talking about using your Kindle because you are one of my star Kindle using students. So tell me, Ellie, when did you get your first Kindle?
I got my first Kindle in 5th grade. On a vacation to Florida. I finally convinced my dad that I wanted to use a Kindle because of its 30-second downloads in the car from almost anywhere.
Did you have a long car ride to get to Florida?
12 hours.
Aha! So a Kindle means you were going to annoy your parents less, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, great. When did you start using your Kindle in English class?
In between 7th and 8th grade. I started using in 7th grade as I would forget to bring my book home and wouldn't read it, so I would have my Kindle. I'd be like, oh, I'll just download the book. And then in 8th grade, before I bought my books for school, I thought, well, why don't I see what they have on the Kindle? And they had most of my books on the Kindle. Not some Shakespeare stuff wasn't there, but other than that.
Great. And what's your favorite thing about using a Kindle for your English class books?
I think that it's great being able to read on the Kindle at home with like an actual non-LED screen, and then being able to come to school and being able to see all your notes on the side and being able to search the book for specific words to identify motifs and symbolism and different just English phenomena. I don't know.
Great, yeah.
I'm losing myself.
So do you mostly use your actual physical Kindle at home,
Yes.
and then at school you use your Kindle for PC app on your computer?
Yes.
And do you like that? What do you like about the Kindle itself? What do you prefer about reading on the Kindle?
My eyes sometimes get a little bit tired with reading on the screen, so I use the Kindle for that and reading like outside because I love to be outside and read. And so
And you can read this outside because it's an e-ink display as opposed to an LED. Great. What do you like about the Kindle app on your computer?
The Kindle app, it's great in classroom especially because I can search the words, so it's not like I'm flipping through a book trying to find the pages, and then on the Kindle it's just hard to search for different stuff. And it also is more versatile for the classroom, so I can use the note panel on the side and I can search the book fully and find out how many times a word pops up for motifs and seeing how many, the different variations, and that's just really useful.
Great. Do you use the Kindle Touch to take notes and highlight things?
I do. That's a really great feature, especially with the Kindle Touch. It's really easy there. Keyboard is really great, so it's easy. You just highlight. You can highlight and take a note, which I find really useful. So I can highlight a sentence and then click and take the note. So
great. What do you feel like there's any downsides to using a Kindle? Do you ever miss having an actual physical copy of the book?
I have never really missed having a paper copy because for me, paper copies tear. They're not constantly available since this is in the cloud. I feel like some people are more attached to their actual book, but I've never been that kind of person.
Ellie, tell me how you use the Kindle in class discussion. So if we're discussing a chapter from the book, how does your Kindle help you in those class discussions?
It helps especially in the dead zones, in those active discussions where people are kind of like, oh my gosh, and everybody else is flipping through their book. I open up the note panel on the side of my computer and I see those question marks and the active reading all in one big list, which is really nice because you aren't looking for those little tiny scribbles on the side of the book, and it's a lot easier, especially with the syncing in between your Kindle and your PC. So you can sync those and get your notes from your Kindle to your PC. Great.
If other schools or students were interested in maybe getting a Kindle and using it for their English classroom, what would be your recommendation? Do you recommend that students use Kindles?
I definitely do. It's especially good for like the one-to-one. If the school does have some sort of laptop program or bring your phone to school. I know that some schools have started doing that. The Kindle app is completely free. I feel like it would be great in circumstances where you can kind of share your notes in some circumstances in different ways. I haven't really experimented with that, but I know that you can, and I feel like it's so much easier for the teacher to check your active reading on the side panel. You say, this is where I started and this is where I stopped, and instead of just them having to physically go around and like look through and make sure that they wrote stuff down, so it's really a lot easier.
Great. Do you think the Kindles would ever be a distraction or take away from a student's learning?
They can in some circumstances, but you have to, I feel like if the student is really interested in learning, they will not be. And most of the time, there are a couple of games on the Kindle, but they're not very good games. So if they're really going to get distracted, they're going to have to try pretty hard and be really bored in class.
That's a good point. So let's see. Is there anything else you want to add about the Kindle or using the Kindle in class?
No, I think we're pretty good. They do have most of the books that if you're going to use, you wouldn't really have to change your curriculum to work around. I think it would be more of an enhancer for, seeing how many times. Because when I started experimenting in class, I had people ask me, well, how many times does this word turn up? And how many times does this word turn up? Sometimes it was close to 100 for a word that some books barely have any of that word in. So
that's been helping a lot. Great.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for talking to me today.
No problem.
Okay, so here's